recording, which is now. What's up, everybody? Good to see everybody. Good to be seen. Coach Willis, what's good? Coach Willis, is that, you don't have to wear that, do you? Or I mean, you get to wear that, right? You don't have to wear a North Carolina one.
No, I wore this yesterday to the game.
That was, tell me about what it was like to be in the arena during Coach K's last game ever. Talk to us.
It was so loud. I had a headache afterward just because of how loud it was. It was a great atmosphere. It was a really good game. I mean, I think that's what I was hoping for. It was bittersweet, to see his career come to an end like that. But it was just I thought it was a really well played, very competitive. It had me on the edge of my seat, with the back and forth. And I thought about our guys here with grit, because I felt like there were some small detail things that were the difference in winning and losing that game last night.
For sure.
Just like you look at Baycock for North Carolina, he gets 21 rebounds because nobody's cracking down and blocking him out on the weak side. That's stuff we worked on in practice. Talk about defensive rotations. Kind of losing your guy in transition. I don't know how many times Duke lost Caleb Love in transition, right? So how he gets that three off at the end of the game, you can't leave him. So I just hope that our guys were watching and paying attention. I hope you guys were watching and paying attention, because the same things that your coaches are asking you to focus in on in your grit practices, they're the same things that those guys got to execute in the national, in the Final Four. So
I think that's right before you got on, Coach. I said the same thing you just said. I said that if they didn't watch that game yesterday and they think they want to play college basketball, they're lying to themselves.
That's right. That's right.
If you don't, I mean, so don't say you want something and don't have your actions help you get closer to that. And so that's just a lesson, no matter what it is. But I hope you guys were watching. I know some of you guys had those trivia and questions, and you said, well, I don't watch basketball. It's time to start if you want to be a part of this program, for sure. And some of you guys were like, well, how could you not watch? Because that was Coach K's 1,203rd victory. It should have been. That's the type of guys that you want to be, is the type that can recite and repeat and learn the game. That way you can say, hey, when they run that flex action, like we were working on the other day, you know what they're talking about, right? So when a coach tries to teach somebody, if you don't know what a flex cut is, first off, you haven't been listening during practice, because that's something that Coach Hellstrom was talking about the other night in the offense, in the two kind of sets that we've gone over. That first cut over that post is a flex cut. And then the post that sets that screen steps back and looks for the ball in that right there where they tee it up, try to get the ball right above the rim at about 10 feet after the guy does cut over the top in that flex. But you need to be watching. You need to be picking up things if you want to be where you say you want to be. Like, this is what a lot of you said, not what I'm saying, right? This is what you guys said, was you want to play at the next level. Or maybe I was mistaken, but I know some of you, at least some of you that are watching, said that. So that's going out to you guys. If you're saying those things, make sure you're trying to get better, because nobody here is good enough yet. And you can always get better, and you can always learn more, so that way you're better prepared for when that time does come. I mean, just Coach Willis is at the Final Four, right? Like, you guys, like, Coach, I just appreciate you hopping on during this trip down there. But you guys don't take this stuff for granted, you guys. Like, this is pretty cool that you have college coaches giving you information. So hopefully you guys are taking notes, because we're about to go through this meeting and you're going to pick up a lot of stuff. Plus, every grit meeting you show up to, you're supposed to have a pen and paper ready to take notes. So whether that's your notebook, notepad, whatever it is you might have. You should have something ready to go because there's a lot of information that we're gonna throw at you guys. So I'm pumped. I am so excited for you guys to be able to step on the floor against somebody else and compete. And we're gonna, I mean, it's been tough. There's been probably about, well, some of us haven't been able to make anything yet. And I knew that going in, and that's totally fine. So let's make sure everybody knows Rowan is going to be a freshman. He's 8th grade at, go ahead, Rowan, unmute and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Rowan Burnett. I go to St. Thomas More School and I'm in 8th grade.
Who is gonna win tomorrow night?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. That's a solid pick. So Rowan and Roan. So it's a little tricky there, but there's only one Rico. So let's go. Well, good. So we're gonna get started here. Some things I want you guys to make sure. Next weekend is the weekend that we've been preparing for. With everybody kind of having different schedules, haven't been able to get everybody together at all, but those Monday practices, we've had most guys there. So those have been good for you guys to kind of get an idea of what we want, but you also got to be doing stuff on your own to make sure you're in shape and ready to go. That's where I can't do that for you. We can't be there with you 5 days a week like if we were high school coaches. So you need to be able to take some of that on yourself. Some of you guys might only play 4 or 6 minutes in a game, but if you don't play really hard during your stretch of minutes in the game, your minutes will shrink. And I'm being very upfront about that. And some of you guys aren't on here live. Some of you guys are watching this on replay. So either you're sitting here watching this now and hearing this, or you're watching this on replay. And if you're not hearing this message, it's because you're not doing what you should be doing, because I'm going to send this out to everybody that's not on this call. And so if you're not watching this and you don't know what this conversation's about when we get there next weekend, then you're wrong. So all of you guys are in the right place. And I know some of you guys did have other stuff going, so you're probably responsible enough to be watching this over, but I just want to make sure we're clear on that. So Friday, there will be games. So Friday night after 6 p.m. So we will 95% chance that we will play both teams Friday night after 6 p.m. There will be 2 games on Saturday and 1 or 2 games on Sunday. Sunday will be done by 4 at the latest. I believe everybody is going up with family except for, is it Sam? Are you going up with?
I'm going with Andrew.
Andrew, the Wash Talks. Okay. So, but I think is there anybody else that's on the call live that is not going up with their family?
I'm going with Carter Mills.
You're going with Carter Mills. Are you able to go, Jeff?
I'll be there for Friday's games. I got to work Friday morning.
So you'll be there Friday's games and Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be there all weekend. Just coming up Friday. I won't be able to make it to practice Thursday.
Awesome. Let's go. That's good. I mean, it's sucks you can't be there Thursday,
It's
but
better.
It's great you can be there for Friday.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot. Just having everybody with their families. But we just wanted to make sure we touch on a few things as far as when we are on the road, when we're traveling. Just so that way we were all clear with these expectations, just in case there is an issue, we can come back and refer to this. You'll be at the games a half hour before they start. So at least a half hour before tip time. So that's the first one. You'll be ready to go for when the game before ours is over. We're gonna have, I'm not gonna assign captains this weekend or next weekend, but whoever's the leaders of the team get together, talk it over, and prepare, so that way we know when we get on the floor, maybe we only have 3 minutes, maybe we have 8 minutes, but I want us to look organized. I don't want you guys coming out there and kind of just going through the motions. I want us all getting a good sweat during warm-ups. If it's 3 minutes, then you should have been finding a spot in the gym outside the school to stretch, get warm, because when the ball goes up, we all have to be ready. So that's why we're there a half hour at the latest before the game time. And the guys that are stepping up, and everybody's a part of this thing. We're trying to get everybody's leadership skills better, but there's some of you that right now feel more comfortable and confident taking that role. So I want to see us look organized. I want it to be crisp. I want you guys to get a good sweat going, and that's an expectation. You guys also will have, there will not be like earphones or earbuds or ear buddies or whatever those things are called. We won't have any Beats by Dre or supersonic devices. Beast mode, not okay. Love beast mode. Marshawn Lynch, unbelievable. But there won't be anybody wearing any of that during warmups. And if there's somebody that didn't watch this call, make sure that you guys are helping them know all of these expectations. So no earphones, no earbuds. You guys have a question about that? Was there somebody that unmuted, or we're good? Okay. I think we should have our t-shirts. If there's anybody that didn't order a t-shirt, let me know. But I think most people ordered at least a t-shirt for themselves and maybe family members. But if you didn't get one, let me know and I'll see what I can do. But I want us to warm up in those shirts and keep them. I want you to put your name or initial or something on there on the tag that says your name or your number. Everybody's got different numbers. 1 through 19, different numbers. I mean, there is some double nickels, Russell, 55, but there's different numbers for everybody. Just in case we're going to be mixing teams around, we're going to be moving people up and down. I've said this before, but I'm making sure I'm saying it again. The team you're on this weekend isn't the team that you might be on at the end of the season. There's a couple ways you can handle it. You can show up, and if we're grit 16U gold, grit 16U silver. So Carter, you're going to be playing in a 16-year-old division. It won't be at the top tier 16U division, but it will be playing against sophomores. So, but that's the same level of the guys that you've been practicing with, same age. So like Lucas, Tucker, sophomores, right? So you're going to be playing 16U. So if we assign you to the silver team this weekend, you have options, right? Like you're free to make whatever choices you want, but you're not free of the consequences those actions take or result in. So what I mean by that is you can be on the silver team this weekend and you can complain, you can pout, you can mope, you can say this isn't fair, this isn't right, I should be on the gold team. That's an option. Or you can go out on the silver team and have 6 assists and 1 turnover, take 2 charges, 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from the 3. Those are the things you can do. That's one response. or the pouting is the other action that you could take. So that's how this is going to be. There's going to be some of you that I know are not going to be happy. And that's okay, because I don't want you to be satisfied with where you're at if you're on the silver team. But I also want you to know that there's some people that get things that others don't because of stuff that they've done and put in up to this point. Meaning, not everybody's going to get to shoot the same. What's a good shot for Nick might not be a good shot for somebody else, anybody else, right? But what's a good shot for somebody else might not be a good shot for Nick. So everybody has a different, and it's because of the work you've put in. It's because of the work you've put in. That's what makes the difference. And if you want to shoot a lot in the games, show me that you can do it in practice. Some of you guys are going to be upset when we tell you that that wasn't a good shot, but you didn't do the shooting workout during spring break. Or if you did it, you didn't report it to me. But I'm getting screwed, coach. I should be able to shoot more. You didn't yell at Nick when he shot that 3, and now you're telling me I shouldn't be shooting that? Right. It's different. Everybody's going to be coached differently. And I can speak because I know Josh and Willis and Hellstrom and Houston and Hutch. We talk about this stuff. Not everybody's going to have the same opportunity to shoot. And I feel bad sometimes saying this, but I don't want to give a good shooter or a bad shooter confidence. Right? Like, why would I tell somebody that doesn't do the shooting workouts, oh, it's because I don't have enough confidence. You don't believe in me. Well, if you get in the game and you go 2 for 2, like, you're going to show me and you're going to have some leeway. But if you get in the game and you go 0 for 3, like, you probably won't get another opportunity. Like, some of you guys might go 0 for 3 and I'll want you to shoot the 4th, 5th, 6th. Because I know that you've worked on it, you've prepared, and you're going to get it going. But some of you guys haven't been working, and it's pretty evident, you know, and it will be. And it has been already. There's something, and that's okay. Everybody's got different goals. So that's why I'm not totally going to call anybody out. But if you have the goals of playing at a higher level, then you can't just do it twice a week or 3 times a week. You have to be doing it every day, something to get better, whether that's watching the Final Four, you're getting better doing that, but that's 2 hours, right? What else can you be doing? So think about that. And I ramble a lot, guys, because I'm passionate about this, but everybody's got different skills. I want you guys to be the best you can at your role, right? Like, Nick's going to be the point guard on the gold team. And so, because he leads, and that's one thing that we're looking for all of you guys to see. And he talks, he communicates. He's also, you know, great player, but Nick, your leadership's one thing that really stands out, and we need you. And I think that you know that, and that's the confidence that you bring. But I want everybody to see that and rise up to that level. But so on the road, grit. Peyton, go ahead and unmute. What's Peyton?
Yeah.
What's grit? What's the acronym GRIT stand for?
Gratitude, resilience, intensity, and toughness, or togetherness. Sorry.
Ooh, that was close. Intensity. I'll take intense, even though, you know, intensity. And you almost said toughness, which is a good quality, but not what grit stands for. So gratitude. I need you guys to be appreciative of your parents. We talked about it. All of you guys are going up with your parents. Sam, I already know Sam. I'm not having to worry about Sam. You're going to be appreciative of the Wash Talks taking you up and helping you out. But everybody else, make sure that you show gratitude towards your parents. Not only are they sacrificing their time, they're sacrificing their money. Time and money to help you guys out. So make sure that you don't just rush through it. Hey, thanks a lot, as you're rushing out of the car. Talk about it. I encourage you guys, when you drive up there, don't put in earbuds. Don't put on iPhones or iPods. iPod, earpods. Don't talk to your parents. They would love that. They would appreciate that more than you guys know. And I think that sometimes you feel like, well, I'll just do that later, or they're dorky or old or whatever you guys think. I know I've been a kid too. You guys have never been an adult. I've been a kid, so I can speak to what you guys are thinking sometimes. They'd appreciate it if you guys just talked. And you think, oh, we have time, and you always think you have time, but you never know, right? So I encourage you, it's a challenge for you guys. Again, you don't have to accept these challenges, but if you don't, you're not gonna get as much out of this experience. And if I find out, you probably won't play as much, right? Like, there's just certain things. Some of you guys still haven't got everything in the folder. And maybe it's because I haven't had to call on you guys or say, hey, have you done your goals sheet? Do you have your photo in there? I haven't been hassling you guys, so some of you guys just haven't done it. But I'm pretty sure last I checked, there were some of you that hadn't done it. And I'm not going to call anybody out, but if I was a teammate, I might call them out, because we're all going to run for it. If Wednesday or Thursday night, when everybody's together, there's stuff that's not done, but I shouldn't have to be the one texting you saying, hey, I need you to do your goals. I need you to, can you label it right? I shouldn't be the one having to say that. And again, this is a team. So some of it, leaders step up, text somebody if you see that they don't have something. You guys all are in the group thread. You can have another one if you're doing what I ask and labeling everybody, and you can just remove the coaches if you want to have your own player chat. That's okay. Not everything that you guys need to say to each other needs to be heard by the coaches, right? Like, it's not like you're hiding anything, but some of it is just like, you don't need to blow up my phone when you need to tell somebody that they didn't do what they should be doing, right? So that's okay. Or you can just go directly to them. If you're one of the guys that wants to be a leader on this team, like, get everybody on the same page and let's rise as a team and raise the level of everybody. But attention to detail is huge, you guys. Like, I know some of you guys were like, gosh, you're nitpicking, coach. Like, if we can't ace the easy stuff, how am I going to be able to trust that you guys are going to do it right when I tell you to do it in the second half or in the fourth quarter of a close game? I won't be able to, because you haven't shown that you can do the easy stuff. So I'll say it again, we got to ace the easy stuff, the stuff that we control. And that's not just during this, like, obviously you have control over what you title your document. Who else does? You know what I'm expecting. I spell it out pretty clear in that, make a copy of the document. And I didn't even plan on going into this, but don't write over the one that's the master copy. Make a copy, change the name to this format, the exact format I show you, put your answers in red. Pretty easy instructions. Some of you guys haven't done it or done it right. Ace the easy stuff. That's a life lesson. If you can't ace the easy stuff, you can't be expected to nail it when it's tough. So that's enough for a lot about that. I'll move on. So we're wearing our grit t-shirts, which everybody should have by Friday. If I'm not able to get them, Houston, will you be able to pick them up on Friday on your way up?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, they'll be in Salem. I'll get you the address, kind of right off of I-5, over kind of by the hoop, or the old hoop. Capitol Fieldhouse is what it's now called, by the PAC, the PAC. So I'll get you that. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get down there. And then if we don't get them up in time for Friday, then just wear them the rest of the weekend. You will have them. They will be done by Friday. So, but if we don't get them up to the games on Friday, we'll get them to you guys on Saturday. So with that, also uniforms. You guys have seen the white, like the one behind me. You guys have seen the black. Let me turn off this turn off the virtual background. So we got the blacks. You guys have seen these. P. Daniels. Spelled right. Doesn't even say Peter, like last year when we accidentally got Russell's with Russell on it instead of Daniels. But what you guys haven't seen yet that I just got in my hands is the new, in honor of the Heat / the baby blue, since North Carolina, that's who we heard Rowan say is going to win it. So we got the baby blue. Houston, let's go.
There.
This one's Daddy Houston's because it's bigger.
Yeah, Avery might have to grow into that one.
Yeah, we'll get that one to you, Jeff. There's a few things we still haven't been able to get the NCAA stuff done from a couple of you. I know I was still working on Rico's good, I believe, Brandon, but I think Rowan, I think you might be the, let's see, Brandon, are you checking now? Do you have access to that to see who? I was thinking that it was just Rowan. I think you had a couple things, or you got registered into the system, Rowan, but I don't think you had everything completed because I couldn't check you in. And Nick, I believe you need to accept the email that I sent. And then other than that,
we got 19. No, it's just, yeah, there's just kind of like a indicator for Rowan, and then like I said with the other, with Nico, we're good, but everyone else, I just sent out your NCAA invite. So, and I see that there's been a couple of guys that have already accepted, which is awesome. I know we're kind of doing a lot of different stuff here, but yeah, we're good.
I think Sam got his. Rowan,
Yeah.
maybe Lucas, I think you accepted yours.
Yeah, so far I got Sam, I got Tucker. That's all I see right now.
I have them, Brandon. I invited them to the bench, so I hope we're not doing double.
I might have, but yeah.
Wait, Coach, did you say you sent
Yeah,
me no?
that's what happened, Brandon. I think we both set up an account.
Okay.
Because now they all show that they're multiple rostered.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
is that right?
One, so he's
Jeff?
Yeah, so Avery just got one from Hellstrom. So he's signed up with Brant, with you, Coach, and Coach Hellstrom.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I can get rid of these. So that's easy enough.
I think that's right. We can talk about it after we get through, but thanks for doing that. But I think everybody except for Nick needs to accept the email. Do you know what I'm talking about? Check.
I don't see an email from you.
Okay, let me see if I can do it again. And then Rowan, I don't see that you did. Let me see. Rowan Yield. Yeah, it's still showing like a exclamation point, like it doesn't have you in there yet. Or it has you in there, but you're missing something. Like maybe you didn't check that you completed the something, or maybe your school's in there wrong. And Lucas got his. Peyton looks like Peyton. Peyton, do you know if you've got an email yet? You did? Did you accept it?
Did you send one to my dad too?
I don't know. It should just go to you. Maybe it went to his, but it's whatever email it was you signed up with. And Nick, it says that it's been sent and now it won't let me send again. But it shows that you accepted, or it says you're on another roster, but it just says sent. Everybody else's says accepted except for Peyton's. And then
I think my
Rowan.
mom got it and then she sent it to my dad and my dad was doing it on his phone.
Okay, we can check on that afterwards with Nick and Peyton and Rowan Heald. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So yeah, we just need to get Rowan on there and those two completed, and then we should be good on that. The resiliency, we might get blown out this weekend. I don't know. I hope not. Like, I sure as hell hope not, but we might blow other teams out. Obviously, we want to be the team that blows out the other team instead of the team that gets blown out. But if we're in competitive games, that's best case scenario. But if we are getting blown out, I need to see the R. The R, resiliency. So we get dunked on, we get somebody knocks down a 3 and they start doing the bow and arrow or, you know, something crazy. We need to get the ball out of the bounds, out of the net, try to get it out before it bounces, get the ball out of bounds, get the ball in, and we're running the other way. That's being resilient. Okay, so we got to make sure that we don't hang our heads ever. Like I said, I don't care if we get beat by 40, as long as it's a better team than us by a lot, right? Like, and sometimes in these club AAU tournaments, you do run into teams that are a lot better than you. But that doesn't mean that affects how hard we play, how tough we play, how together we are, how intense we are. Those are things that we can control. We can't always control the scoreboard, but what you can control is all those other things that I just mentioned. So I need you guys to understand that and hear that we have to be resilient and we have to be intense. Intensity comes from talking. Intensity is playing hard. Those are things that make you intense. And we don't want to be thought of as lukewarm. We don't want to think of as mediocre, right? Like, that's something nobody wants to be called mediocre, or they're lukewarm, right? We don't want to be thought of as average, right? I don't know if you guys have seen the Duke Christian Laettner. I hate Christian Laettner, 30 for 30. If you haven't, homework. But Jalen Rose, if you don't know, Jalen Rose was the point guard at Michigan. He was a point guard at Michigan, Fab Five, one of the Fab Five. Now you see him on TV, Jalen Rose, but they hated Duke. Michigan and Duke hated each other. The Fab Five, Chris Webber, you know, they didn't like each other. And they're interviewing Jalen Rose and they ask, hey, Jalen, talk to us a little bit about Bobby Hurley, you know, the star point guard at Duke. Average. The guy's really good, obviously, but the insult the Michigan guy thought of was just calling him average. But the way he said it too was like, average. I mean, the guy's an All-American, right? But they hated each other. So I want you guys to have some intensity and play hard and play together. Those are the two things that we'll always have control over. And being intense and then playing together, doing the little things. We huddle up on free throws if we can. Most of the time we should be able to huddle together. Every touches, you know, we're going to be playing, there's going to be contact. So obviously I want you guys to be safe, But at a certain point, like, we're not going to stand 6 feet apart on our huddles, because there's going to be people in your face playing defense, right? So if COVID does get you, like, I hope it doesn't. And then if it does, I hope you're very resilient, you bounce back and you're not sick for long. But we touch on free throws. We all huddle up. You get the team together, the leaders, the point guard, the leaders of the team, make sure we all huddle up, get together, touch, and say if we're in man, what we're working on, if somebody's hot or somebody's, if we're on defense, hey, get me a touchdown there on the other end. I just got 2 in a row, give me another touch, or just you're communicating with your teammates by getting together. That shows unity, that shows the T, togetherness. Somebody makes a stupid foul, you don't leave them hanging out there. You pull them in, you touch, and you tell them that we're together. Somebody makes a mistake, a stupid foul, doesn't foul them hard enough, gives up an and one, we huddle. You get screwed on a call, you huddle up. And it has to be quick. Referees will try to have you can't huddle up on free throws, delay a game, but then they're taking 3 minutes over at the score clock, telling them. So you guys, we can't control the officials either. I want you guys to leave the officials alone. I know we've talked about it as a coaching staff, and we're going to leave the refs alone. And I know if that's really difficult for you, then it's good practice for you to restrain, because we're going to be playing 16U high school AAU basketball. If you can't control your emotions during that, how are you going to control your emotions when it's the Final Four or the state tournament? How are you going to control your emotions if you get pissed off? Because you're going to have bad referees, you're going to have bad things happen in more meaningful, significant games than any that we're going to play this spring. I hope you do, because this shouldn't be the Super Bowl or the pinnacle for any of our careers. So if you do get a horrible referee, laugh it off, not in a mocking way. Don't like mock a referee by laughing, but just, yeah, you're making a mistake. I got all ball. I know I got all ball. That should be enough. Right? So there is not, you guys got to be intense, but intense doesn't mean getting in a referee's face. It doesn't mean pounding your chest when you do dunk on somebody. Like, I never did that. Well, I only dunked it a few times, but some of you guys are chuckling, but you've seen me do my spin around dunk. But make sure that we leave the refs alone. We worry about what we can control. And I'll tell you, referees, if you have good referees, they're going to make bad calls. And if you do get on them, they're going to forget it and not be biased against you. The referees that we're going to have in all these tournaments, if you yell at them, they're going to get worse. They're going to favor the other team even harder because they're going to stick it to you. And I've learned that as a coach the hard way sometimes, but it's true. So I want you guys to make sure that we leave the refs alone. It's going to be hard but this isn't our Super Bowl. This isn't the biggest thing we're ever doing. And you don't want to be known. I don't want to be known as a program that whines. Winners don't whine. You adapt, you adjust, you shake it off. Next play speed, next play mentality. Nothing's more important than the next play, right? Like, think about, I heard about breathing. Your last breath was important, but not as important as your next breath, right? Like, you wouldn't be alive if you didn't have the last one, but you wouldn't be alive if you don't get the next one. So the next play mentality, next. You make a great play, next play. You make a horrible play, stupid decision, turn it over, next play. Next play speed. We have to be really good at that this next weekend. And we're together huddling up on free throws. Like I said, we're helping our teammate up. If somebody falls down, everybody should be hustling over to help them up. It's not something that they should have to help themselves up, and we don't have to be like, was it Kiss? I don't know. Some of you guys know that when he got knocked down, he started just doing push-ups. Kiss from whatever college it was. I think he led the country in scoring this year. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, that's okay because it's a little lesser known than, so I'm not going to rip on you like I was for not knowing about the Duke game yesterday. But Kiss, he's really arrogant, but he can hoop. Like he's getting dunks and he's doing all this stuff and falls to the ground and starts doing push-ups and kissing his muscles, and but he can score it and back it up. And there's just a lot of people that do that stuff that are a lot worse than that, but it still is not a good look. So make sure that we're controlling what we can control, which we can't control the refs, we can't control the hostile environments. But like I said, this shouldn't be our pinnacle, right? Like I'm not saying don't be intense, let's not get it twisted, but it's also, this shouldn't be the biggest thing that we do in our career. So I want you guys to care about this a lot. I want you to bring it every time you're out there, but I also want you to have a good time. I want you guys to have fun this weekend. Next weekend, when we play, I want you guys to enjoy that experience of being around your teammates. I think almost everybody everybody will be hanging out at the same hotel. I think a couple of you might not be staying there, but a lot of you will be hanging out there. So I want you guys to enjoy this, whether we win by 40 or lose by 40, as long as you play hard and play together. Like that's all I'm worried about. And like I said, you're going to run into some teams that are way bigger and better. And you might run into some teams that are way littler and way worse, but we don't play down to anybody's level. But we also don't hang our heads when we do get walloped. Because I've been the hammer, right? And I've been the nail. It's way more fun to be the hammer than it is the nail. But there is sometimes when you can play hard, play together, and still just get waxed. It sucks, but you also can't let it affect how hard you play or how you carry yourselves. If you slump your shoulders, if you pout, if you mope, that's what's going to get coaches upset. That's what the coaches have been talking about, is that if we see that response, then we're going to be disappointed. Then we're going to be upset. So it's how you handle it. You're free to make whatever choices you want when you're out there, but you're not free of the consequences. So if you do decide to handle it that way, that's okay, but it's going to have results, or it's going to have outcomes that you might not like. So we don't hang our heads. We also don't need to talk trash. So there's certain ways that we need to carry ourselves when we play. But I think, like I said, as long as you guys play hard and play together, like let's just simplify. I know I ramble a lot and you're supposed to teach and coach in sentences, not paragraphs, but play hard, play together. And after that, enjoy the experience. Have fun, compete, battle, get after it. I want to see who the leaders are, who's stepping up and organizing us, who's saying, hey, where's your shirt? Oh, I left it in my mom's car and she's not here yet, so she's going to bring it later. Hopefully your teammates are able to either have an extra, or you better be doing push-ups, or you guys are growing up. You're not grown-ups, but you're growing up, and some of it's time for you to start handling that stuff on your own. So hopefully you guys are learning how to be a little bit more independent, because I know a lot of you guys that are 15, 16 start feeling like you're, maybe you're driving, feeling pretty grown up, but then you have to have your mom bring your jersey. Like, come on now. Like, make sure you guys are handling your stuff. I shouldn't have to be reminding you of all these things. Some of it is, I'm demanding a lot, and I don't think I'm demanding a lot, like a couple assignments in a Google folder, and don't let your mom have to bring your jersey. So I don't think I'm demanding too much, but make sure you guys are doing the little stuff right. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys to get out there and compete. Let's see. Coach Houston, do you want to hop on here and give them any type of, because like I said, I ramble a little bit. Do you want to try to break down what I said a little bit more succinctly, or something differently that you want to add? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, following in with the acronym of GRIT, you touched a lot on the important stuff, and just framing it, in a different mindset as well, is gratitude isn't always words, it's actions. Gratitude of when the game's over and we are leaving our bench, don't leave a dirty bench. Don't leave trash on the bench. Be responsible enough to pick up your stuff or your teammates' stuff. Somebody has a brain fart and they forget to pick up their water bottle, help them out. That's why we're there together. That's why we chose to play sports as opposed to individual sports. Okay, so your gratitude is in your actions as well. So but you bounce back. Fortunately for most all of us, it's you play every game like it's your last with that kind of intensity, that kind of energy. But you bounce back to the next one. If it wasn't your best outing, learn from it. Don't just say, well, I'm going to play better next time. We'll be specific. Resiliency is being specific to how you are going to improve, how you are going to bounce back, not just, oh, well, I'll just shoot it better. Well, that doesn't just magically happen. So that detail-oriented focus on the details. Intensity is also very focused. There's going to be games where guys are getting chippy. You're going to play against programs that's kind of their mantra, is that we're going to bulldog you, and we're going to get in your face, and we're going to talk, and we're going to do all this stuff to get you off your game. And it's easy to get lost in that. And you think you're being intense by mouthing back. You're being intense by posturing up. But intensity is focused on the job and the task at hand. And when you see a teammate finishing out, when you see a teammate that maybe losing their focus, maybe getting lost in the moment, maybe they're getting down on themselves, is that last one, being together. You see a teammate that's struggling, you walk over to them, you run over to them, whatever you got to do. Be like, hey, we got this. Like, not just you, but we got this. Like, I got your back. I'm here for you. And for some of you guys don't know each other very well. The Southern Oregon kids and the Portland area kids, this is a great first weekend to be out of city, to be out of your location, that you have to start, gelling a little bit off the floor. And, going to the pool together, going to the mall together in between games, going out to eat in between games, whatever it is. Find and take a moment to get to know somebody better that you wouldn't normally see on a daily basis. The Cascade Christian kids, you see each other every day. The Grants Pass kids, you see each other every day. Go involve and get to know some of the other guys that, maybe you don't know as well. And this is where it all begins. This is where the true fun is. Basketball is a ton of fun. Being in the games, being all that is a ton of fun. But the memories and the relationships are built more off the floor, if you allow it to, than they are on the floor. And the relationship you build off the floor only carries over to on the floor. So that trust level starts to build when you get to know them off the floor just as well as on the floor. So that's my encouragement to everybody is, spend some time get to know some guys besides just practice, besides just when you're inside the sidelines, inside the basketball court.
Love it. Love it. I think that's really important. Stretch your comfort zone. The guys that hang out, make sure you're inclusive. Make sure you hang out with some other people. I know everybody on this team. I know every one of you guys, and you're all good people, cool people, got your own personalities, but that's one thing that is pretty cool, is seeing all of your personalities come together. Nice shirt, Sam. I see that. I see what you're rocking there. But definitely get to know each other and celebrate each other. You guys are all different, but you guys do have one thing in common, a few things in common. One of them is basketball. But I know a lot of my best friends are guys that I met through the game. And obviously the Coach Houston, who was just talking, is one of them, and almost went to the same college, didn't, but still I stood in my wedding. So obviously he's one of my best friends. So definitely the relationships that you create during this are the prize. Josh, Coach Josh, you want to unmute and give us something?
Yeah, just briefly going off what Jeff just said, like live in the moment with stuff like this. Like as Brant said, as Jeff said, these moments, trips, they're still good memories for me. Ironically enough, I played in the same tournament 10 years ago, and I have fond memories of it. And I really would piggyback off that and encourage you guys to like get to know everybody in this program. Like embrace the whole thing of it, because for me, basketball has always been really, the basketball side of it is really, like you said, just a part of it. Most of my best friends come from the game. Most of the connection, not most, but a good chunk of the connections I have come from it. It's a lot of my best memories, a lot of the places I've traveled, all that. This game opens up a lot of doors for you if you let it. And you can be the best player in the world. You can be as good as you want, but if you don't do the other stuff, if you don't embrace being a teammate, not just within those lines, you won't get the full experience out of it. And I really, if there's one thing you think about that is aside from everything we do on the court, it's be involved with your teammates, learn about each other, have experiences together, and just be really in the moment. Because you really only get to do this whole playing club basketball, traveling thing. You don't get to do this your whole life. Like one of the reasons I coach is because I like being around this. So like embrace these moments because there's only so many of them and they are really special and it's a privilege to do so. So really have a good week this week and get ready for this weekend. It's gonna be a good time.
Love it. Embrace the opportunity to get to know somebody new. Is Coach Willis still with us? Coach J Dub out of South Florida. Chilling, listening.
I'm here.
Got anything
Coach
you
Bonner.
want to toss in or add to the conversation? Expectation wise, kind of what you want from them?
Yeah, I think we have to really love each other to the truth. Just holding each other accountable and understand that when people may say something to you, it's out of love, right? And it's all about accomplishing a greater goal, right? So if we're going to accomplish anything in the program, hang on one second. If we're going to accomplish anything as a program, people have to be willing to submit to a cause greater than themselves, right? So I know like Brant's one of my best friends, right? So you're not one of my best friends because you tell me what I want to hear, rather you tell me what I need to know. Does that make sense? So that's a different thing. So if somebody's telling you, hey man, you got to bump out in rotation. Hey man, you got to get out there and close out. Hey, you got to sprint the floor. Hey, you got to get back. You can't hear that and take that as a personal attack, right? You got to hear that in love as a good teammate. Does that make sense to everybody? So that is the level of accountability that we need to be at, because if we're not willing to do that, then it doesn't matter what offense or what defense coach calls, right? It doesn't matter because we have to play for one another and stay together. Coach Miner likes to say this, and I'm gonna leave you with this quote from him. Boats don't sink because of the water around them. They sink because of the water that gets into them.
Preach.
All right? That's what he says all the time. And to me, what that means is this. Every boat is built for the water. That's right. So you guys are prepared. You're prepared. Coach talked about playing really good teams. Some teams may not be as good, but you're prepared either way. You're prepared either way. You're prepared, just like a boat is prepared for the water. Don't let water get into the boat. Does that make sense? Don't be drilling holes, right? Should have no sawdust. Everybody need to be rowing. Stay on the boat. Okay?
Row the boat. Don't sink the ship.
That's right. Don't drill holes, man.
Don't drill holes in the boat when everybody else is rowing. So we got to do this together. Everybody's got to be a part. Whether you're 1 or 19 right now, that's less important than what you bring. And like Coach Willis was just saying, and we're going to try to tell you guys what you need to hear. We're not always going to be given high five. Sometimes we're going to tell you something that you might not be ready or want to hear, but we're trying to do it in your best interest. If we stop getting on you, that's more of when you need to worry. But do what you do it really well, and see that role grow. Don't do what we're asking you to, or don't do it very well or hard. Your roles will shrink. But you can control a lot of things, but you can't control your playing time. But what you do in those minutes, if you come out there and you just play really hard, like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I was a walk-on in college. First game I got in, I played 5 minutes. I had 7 rebounds, took a charge, got a steal, got an assist, was 2 for 3 from the free throw line, produced. I got to play more games. I played more than the other walk-ons. There was 4 that started the season. I was the only one that made it through the year because the other ones did stupid stuff. One of them got an MIP and coach kicked them off. One of them just decided he didn't want to play anymore because it was so difficult to not get any glory. But those lessons that I learned, like, my role was different than Pooh Jetters. Pooh, he played for the Sacramento Kings. You know, if you don't know him, he's still playing. He just played in the TBT for Overseas Elite. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about, the basketball tournament on ESPN. Winner gets $1 million. He played on Overseas Elite. He still plays in the G League for Ignite. So he's still in the G League, and he's my age. So depending on who you ask, it's pretty old. I guarantee it's pretty old for a professional basketball player. As far as just a person, it's not that old, just a kid, right? Right. But as far as a professional athlete, like Pooh Jetter, like, I knew that I had to do whatever I could to get him better in practice. But I didn't complain or pout or mope or I should be playing more, right? Like, you guys got to think about that. You want to try to produce more than the problems you create. And so as a walk-on, I wasn't producing a ton, so I couldn't create any issues. So think about that. And like I said, not everybody will be coached exactly the same. We want to try to get you guys from where you're at to getting better. So I know some of you guys have stuff coming up and are heading to tryout or banquets or whatever you have going. So we're going to wrap this up. Appreciate you guys being here. I will have the jerseys for you this weekend or this week. I'll try to get those to everybody who can be at practice. We'll get you and your family your t-shirts Friday at the latest. I think it'd be good. I just got this message. If we didn't bring PS5s with us on this trip or 4s, right? If we're no Nintendos, no Sega Genesises, no Ataris, right? No Game Boys, even no Sega Genesis Juniors or whatever those ones were called. No Pong for those old school souls out there. No Tecmo Bowl. Put away Super Mario Bros. If you do have Dr. Mario, let's play. Let me know. But I'm pretty good at Tetris. So I'm gonna challenge you guys to not bring your video games with you and to talk to your parents on the drive up. And those are a couple of the challenges we have. Uniforms, t-shirts, March Madness. Let me see. There's some of you guys that maybe are on this call that haven't messaged me back about if you're coming tomorrow or not. So Rowan's hosting. Drew is not on the call. Sage, are you coming tomorrow night?
I don't know yet. I need to speak with my family first.
Okay, let me know as soon as you can. Russell's out. Peter is out. Rico is out. Rowan is bringing 2. Rowan has, just so I get the count, Rowan, do you know who's going to be there with your, I mean, you, mom, dad, Sawyer?
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah. Lex is at school still. And I'll find out about Drew, and Sage is a question mark. And Nick is a 0. Nick, remind me, you're in or out?
I'm out. I have a golf tournament tomorrow.
That's right. You're right. You are right, obviously, and I was wrong because you did tell me that. All right. Well, again, I'm stoked. I'm pumped for you guys to get to compete, pumped for all of us as a program to see what we got. So that's all we're gonna have. I am going to stop the recording. All right, you guys, let me know.